All right, first and foremost, I want to begin this lesson by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the 144,000, the rest of the elect. I'm Brother Yahawah, back another quick lesson, Lord willing, it's edifying. And just real quick, I seen this post on social media this morning, and I had to look it up to verify it, but it's true. Okay, there was a partial solar eclipse this morning. All right, solar eclipse meaning the moon blocked the sun, but only part of it. It wasn't a total solar eclipse, but it was just enough to basically leave a slither of the sun this morning at 6:30, approximately 6:30 to 7 a.m. Eastern time. They calling this a devil horns eclipse. So the picture that you're looking at, I believe it was taken in Maine, according to the post. All right, and tell me this ain't a sign from Yahawah, man, who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ. On March 29th, 2025, we had a partial solar eclipse. After just having the blood moon eclipse, the total lunar eclipse on a Passover night, which I was actually awake at around 2:33 a.m. I actually watched it come in. Like I seen the eclipse, partially coming in, so the whole moon was just red. It was like an orangey kind of red. And it was very ominous, especially being that it was the Passover, being in the spirit and meditating on things, thinking about Egypt, thinking about Yahweh being crucified, all of that, man, and how he's coming back for revenge, to avenge himself on this world. So, hey, man, the Lord is getting ready to do some damage. I take this as not a good sign at all. All right, the devil horns eclipse. This is just a quick article to get some information on it before I get into the scriptures. But it says devil horns eclipse will rise tomorrow for photographers in the Northeast. Not long after the blood moon lunar eclipse, photographers can gear up for yet another eclipse tomorrow. This time it's a solar one. So it was only visible in the Northeast. I'm going to just skim through it. Let me scroll down. It did say the central part of the moon's shadow, where the sun would appear completely blocked, misses Earth, so no one will be able to see a total solar eclipse this time. So I guess it was, but we just weren't able to see it. Viewers will see a partial solar eclipse in sections of North America, Europe, Africa, Northern Asia, blah, blah, blah. Gives you the times. It started at 6:30, it ended around 7. This is the part right here. In some locations along North America's northeastern coast, the sun will rise as an eclipse, creating a devil horn sunrise that will be visible only in Maine, Quebec, and New Brunswick if skies are clear. And it was clear enough to where you had a couple people that caught images, man, took photos of it. And like I said, you looking at it, it's looking bad, man. Not for us, of course, but we know these prophecies, man. We know the devil is a so-called white man that the Bible speaks of, Esau, Edom, right? And we know that they're in control of the world. They're the wicked, pursuant to Job 9:24. And also we know that we're living in a time where the so-called white man, being the wicked that he is, he's going to come down with great wrath, being the devil he is. All right, showing you his horns once again. And we seeing that, they stop really shaving them horns down. They stopping to do that because you look at Trump, which we know he's just a middleman, like Apostle Charles was going into. I believe it was a lesson he did yesterday. We know that he's just a middleman, but he is that cruel Lord, and he's bringing that spirit of white supremacy back to America. Edomite supremacy, so-called white, because they're not really white. All right, but they're bringing back that vibration and getting back into that devil-like spirit. You see where it's an analogy, you say they shave their horns down, representing they basically hiding their true self and their true nature. But we coming into a time where this man, he has a mission. He's been given a task by the elites to bring in that digital economy, man. All right, he's signing executive orders. He's bringing this thing forth. And we know what the digital economy is about. It's about the MOTB, the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip implant, where they're going to basically mandate it by law that all people globally, not just in America, but all over the world, is going to have to take that RFID chip. All right, that's the prophecy. And it's called the hour of temptation because you won't be able to buy and sell without that chip. All right, so we know they're going to bring that thing in with great wrath. They're not just going to smooth this thing in because people are rebelling against this. All right, you got people all over the world protesting the people. That's in 2nd Esdras 9. That's another sign that we're at the end. You know, protests of the people, earthquakes. We just had an earthquake. I think it was in Taiwan, a really bad earthquake. But yeah, you got these people protesting all over the world against the central bank digital currencies. People don't want that. All right, but especially here in America, it's going to be they're going to have a real hard time implementing these things. Because these people are not just going to give up their comfortabilities and what they perceive as, their entitlements. And we know Americans, man, they just entitled as fuck, right? And they feel like they deserve liberty and freedoms and all these things that other countries don't have. So when these devils go to take these things away, similar to like the 2020 event, right, with the vid and the jab, right, people is not going to go for that. So they're going to have to come with some troops and real type force, man. They're going to come down like the devil that they are, okay, pursuing a Revelation 12 and 12. So that's how I take this sign in the spirit. The Lord just be showing things, man, in the heavens, man. He just be doing strange things, and we definitely at the end. So hopefully within these next 3 years, under Trump's reign, Emperor Nero, aka the reincarnation, hopefully this man brings these things forth, because it's even hard for me to see another president after. I'm thinking, who the hell else could it be if it's not him, unless he does something to where he extends his terms. But we don't want that. We hasten in the day, man. We want this thing to happen yesterday. All right, so hopefully, Lord's will, Yahawah Bashim Yasharatazah, this man, brings this thing forth, man, and bring these prophecies forth, because they're going to do it anyways. It doesn't matter if it's him that does it. They may take him out. They may put another guy in there. Doesn't really matter who it is. The heart of the king is in the hand of the Lord, pursuing the Proverbs 21 and 1. See, so the Lord's going to do what he will, and man cannot resist the will of Yahawah and Yahweh Shai. See, so like Apostle always says, this is the Most High's microchip. It's not the so-called white man's microchip. Those are the Most High's missiles. He's going to use them when he wants to use them. All right, the so-called white man don't even want to use them. You know what that comes with. All right, his annihilation, his destruction. But it don't matter what he wants. So you people actually believe in free will. You think that these people are in control of anything. They're not. It's Yahawah Bashim Yahweh Shai on the right hand and on the left, meaning on the righteous side, dealing with the elect waking up, teaching his truth, the ministry, the gospel being spread, and the so-called white man bringing his new world order agenda, his mark of the beast, his image of the beast, bringing it to life. That's all the Lord doing that. It's his prophecies. So I'm going to get, what was I going to get? Genesis 1 real quick. Go into that word signs. Genesis chapter 1 verse 14. Which is going into the creation, all right, the beginning, the creation of heaven and earth. Okay, it says, and the Elohim, and it says God in Hebrew, in English, excuse me, but in Hebrew, it's Elohim, which is plural for Allah means power, Yum makes it plural, so powers. The powers that it's talking about is Yahweh Shai, the holy angels. And really, if you want to get deep, the elect as well. The ones that are the first fruits, the ones that were with Yahweh Shai from the beginning. Right? But it says, the Elohim said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night. So what lights are in the heavens, in the firmament, the earth's atmosphere? what lights are there to divide day and night? The sun and the moon. You also got the stars, but mainly you got the lesser light and the greater light, which is the sun. The sun is the greater light and the moon is the lesser light, right? But that's how the day and night is divided. So let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. So this is how we tell time. This is how we know when the Sabbath comes in, by the moon, the lunar cycle of the moon, starting with the new moon, which, by the way, was also a new moon. So it was a new moon and it was a partial solar eclipse right back to back. Okay, the new moon came in Friday sundown. So that's heavy, man. These are signs. These are given for signs. Let me get that word in the Hebrew real quick. Also, that's how we know when the high holy days come in. Okay, it's all by the lunar cycles of the moon. How do we know when a new day begins? When the sun goes down and the moon comes up, according to the Bible. All right, it says a sign. It's in the Hebrew. It's a wath, if I'm not mistaken. And it says a sign, signal, distinguishing mark, banner, miraculous sign, remembrance, omen, warning. See, so the Lord couldn't make something happen like a solar lunar eclipse, blood moon, tetrads, etc. Those could be warnings. Those could be omens. When you look at the word omen, just a regular definition, it says an event regarded as a portent of good or evil. So what do you think? When you look at this devil horns partial solar eclipse, what the hell you think that is? You think that's a sign of something good? That's a sign of evil. All right. The scripture tell you evil, only evil is coming. See if I can find that real quick. Yeah, 7, Ezekiel 7 and 5. Thus saith the Lord Yahawah, and evil and only evil, behold, is come. Okay, there's no peace coming. The peace comes after the war. It's about to be bloodshed out here, man. It's about to be mass destruction, famine, pestilence, earthquakes, and other natural disasters. People coming up against each other with the sword because of famine. It's going to be cannibalism. It's going to be all type of madness going on in this earth. And the Lord is the one that's bringing it. The scriptures say he creates peace and evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So, hey, man, this year, I perceive in the spirit things is ramping up. You know, these devils, they making their moves, man. And they have to. They don't have a choice. They on the Lord's timing. All right? They're not on their timing. They could have, you know, a 2030 agenda. That's good. You know, they got a set mark year, whatever. Don't matter. The Lord could speed it up. The Lord could make it take longer if he wants it to. I don't think he will. But it's just to say that they can say they want to do things by this date, but the Most High but he will do things on his date and his seasons, which man doesn't know. So the so-called white man don't even really know when he's going to bring that chip. Okay? They have their witches and warlocks where they look at these different solar and lunar events as well. So the Lord is controlling them on the left-hand side. All right? They got their little priests and prophets, you know, demonic priests and prophets on the left hand, which is really Satan and the demons, right? But who do Satan and the demons work for? They work for Yahawah. All right, so, you know, this is beautiful, man. It's beautiful to see signs like this in these last days. It's exciting. You know, it can't be made up. It can't be something that man has influence over. All right, it's just pure power from the power source, Yahawah by Shem Yahushai. All right, let me get another scripture. I believe it's in the book of Luke. Luke chapter 21, verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars. See, the Lord told us that these will be the signs of the last days before he returns. Right? Signs in the sun, that's a solar eclipse. Partial solar eclipse, total solar eclipse. And in the moon, you got blood moons. Total lunar eclipse, partial lunar eclipse. I believe a tetrad is when you get 4 blood moons in a year, if I'm not mistaken, or I looked it up a while back. I can't really remember, but I believe it's certain amount of blood moons in a certain time frame that makes it a rare occurrence. And for now, I remember looking it up. These things usually happen in very historical events, bad historical events, you know, catastrophic events. Usually you would get a tetrad before these things would happen in history. They got dates and stuff. You know, Esau, the historian, right? They always looking into things. Well, that's what I read. And these are the signs that the Lord has provided. It's really for the elect. Let me say that. It's really for the elect of the nation of Israel, because nobody else really knows what the hell's going on. All right, these people are clueless. They taking pictures, they smiling, they got their glasses on. They don't know what the fuck is going on. They don't know what this really means. Right? So the signs are for the elect. That's why Yahawah told his disciples the signs. Matthew 24, we read in Luke 21. And upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. So you have distress of the nations. You got all type of protests and, you know, rumors of wars, nation rising against nation. If you look at the world stage, it's in shambles right now. That's what perplexity means, with confusion. You got the war in Ukraine. I mean, all you got is just stress all over the planet Earth. The sea and the waves roaring. It's talking about the people. The people is basically in an uproar. And we haven't really even seen none yet. All right, because when they really bring this thing forth, this World Economic Forum agendas, digital IDs, all of that, that's when you're really going to see people bucking up. All right. And that's why the so-called white man is going to have to come down with his troops, with his floods. All right. That's when the Lord is going to also lift up a standard for the elect of the nation of Israel, for not wanting to take the mark of the beast, for not wanting to get microchipped, because who the fuck would want that? You got to be out of your mind to want something like that in your body. You got to be a complete fool. But there you go. You know, signs in the sun and the moon and in the stars. You got different star planetary alignments, constellations. It's always going on. So that's pretty much a point. I mean, you got Joel, I believe the 2nd chapter also speaks about how the Lord was, you know, make the moon turn into blood and the sun will not give its light, which is twofold. You know, it's going into wisdom and knowledge being concealed, which is the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Bible being concealed from the world, only given to the elect. But the people of this world, in the time of trouble and great tribulation, they're not going to know that this is biblical. They'll have an inkling, but they won't be able to go into the Bible and read it and understand it. It's going to be hidden from them. But it's also talking about blood moons, solar eclipse. Okay, so these are the things that's coming. We gave you fair warning through the spirit and power of Yahawah. All right, you Israelites better repent, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, before it's too late. So with that, I'm going to say shalom to the